How to never run out of things to say. Biblical wisdom. We've all been there. You're at a church social, a wedding, or a coffee shop meeting someone new. The conversation is going okay, and then it hits. That long, heavy, suffocating silence. Your heart rate goes up. Your brain starts racing, looking for a save. But all you find is a blank wall. You end up talking about the weather, or worse, you pull out your phone just to escape the discomfort. Most people think being a good talker is a personality trait you're born with, like having blue eyes. But the Bible actually gives us a masterclass in human connection. Today, we're going to dive deep into the theology of conversation. I'm going to share 5 biblical methods that will ensure you never run out of things to say, and more importantly, how to use your words to build others up. Because as Christians, our small talk is actually a big opportunity to show the love of Christ. Before we get to the how, we have to talk about the why. Why do we run out of things to say? In psychology, there's a concept called the spotlight effect. It's the belief that everyone is watching us, judging our every word, and noticing our every mistake. Biblically, this is a form of the fear of man. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 25 warns us that fear of man will prove to be a snare. When we are trapped in that snare, we are so worried about our own ego, asking ourselves if we look smart or if we are being boring, that we become paralyzed. But 1 John chapter 4, verse 18 says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear." The secret to great conversation is a total shift in focus. It's moving from how do I look to how can I serve this person. When your goal is to love the person in front of you, the pressure to be impressive vanishes. You aren't there to perform. You are there to witness the image of God in someone else. You aren't just looking for things to say. You are looking for ways to value a brother or sister. Method number 1 is the Jesus method. Jesus was the king of the question. In the 4 Gospels, he is recorded asking 307 different questions. He only answered 3 direct questions out of 113 asked of him. Think about Jesus meeting the disciples on the road to Emmaus. He didn't start with a 3-point sermon. In Luke chapter 24, verse 17, he asked them, "What are you discussing together as you walk along?" He invited them to share their hearts first. To never run out of things to say, you must become a heart detective. Most people ask data questions like, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" These lead to one-word answers and dead ends. Instead, use the 3-layer rule. Layer 1 is the fact, what do you do? Layer 2 is the motivation. How did you decide to get into that? Layer 3 is the emotion. What is the most rewarding part of that for you? Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5 tells us that the purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out. Your questions are the bucket. If you keep dropping the bucket, you'll never run out of water. Every person has a story. Your job is simply to find the key to unlock it. Method number 2 is the James rule. James chapter 1, verse 19 gives us the ultimate social hack. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. We often think that to keep a conversation going, we have to keep talking. The opposite is true. The best conversationalists are actually the best listeners. There is a technique often used in counseling called the echo. When someone speaks, you simply repeat the last few words of their sentence as a question. If they say, "It's been a really long week at the office," you say, "A long week." They will immediately expand. "Yeah, my boss is pushing for this new deadline." And you say, "A new deadline?" This is active listening. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 13 warns us that to answer before listening, that is folly and shame. When someone talks, look for the keywords. If they mention a family member, a hobby, or a stressor, those are open doors. By being slow to speak, you allow the other person to feel valued. In a world where everyone is shouting to be heard, being a listener is a rare gift. You don't have to be interesting. You just have to be interested. Method number 3 is the power of affirmation. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 24 says, "Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones." If you find yourself in a silence, use that moment to offer a sincere, character-based compliment. Not just "I like your shoes," but something deeper. Try the "I noticed" technique. Say things like, "I noticed how patient you were with that person earlier," Or, I noticed you have a very positive outlook on things. When you affirm someone, it opens their heart. People love being around those who see the best in them. It shifts the conversation from surface-level small talk to a soul-level connection. It's very hard for a conversation to die when you are actively looking for the honey in the other person's life. Method number 4 is the ministry of the name. There is one final tip that is often overlooked in Scripture, and it's the power of a name. In the Bible, names carry weight, history, and identity. When God called Moses from the burning bush, or when Jesus called Zacchaeus down from the tree, he used their names. There is something profoundly healing about being known. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 1 says, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine." In a conversation, if you feel the momentum slowing down or a silence approaching, simply use the person's name. Say, "You know, Sarah, I really appreciate what you said about." It sounds simple, but it signals that you aren't just talking to a stranger. You are acknowledging a person with a divine destiny. It grounds the conversation in dignity and respect, reminding both of you that this interaction isn't an accident, but a divine appointment. Finally, method number 5 is the Paul strategy. The Apostle Paul was a master at building bridges. In 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 22, he says, "I have become all things to all people, so that by all possible means I might save some." But Paul didn't just find common hobbies, he found common struggles. He was vulnerable about his own weaknesses so that others could relate to him. Conversation isn't just about sharing information, it's about sharing humanity. A conversation is a search for me too. If the other person mentions they are tired or stressed, don't try to look perfect. Share a small piece of your own struggle. Vulnerability is the fastest way to kill an awkward silence because it builds trust. As Christians, our ultimate common ground is that we are all made in the image of God. This means every person you meet is infinitely interesting because they reflect a part of the Creator that no one else has. If you view people as divine masterpieces, you will never find them boring. You aren't just making small talk, you are exploring God's handiwork. Ultimately, the secret to never running out of things to say isn't about being a great talker. It's about being a great lover of people. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 29 says, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." So here is your challenge this week. In your next conversation, I want you to try the 3-question challenge. Before you say a single thing about yourself, ask 3 deep questions to the other person. Use their name, listen for their keywords, and affirm one thing you notice about them. Watch how the awkward silences disappear when you stop trying to be interesting and start being genuinely interested. If this biblical perspective helped you, please like and subscribe. It helps us reach more people with the practical wisdom of the Word. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.